In a world teetering on the brink of technological advancements and geopolitical tensions, the specter of a third world war looms larger than ever. As nations grapple with the complexities of international relations, the question arises, is World War III inevitable? Welcome to GeoLand, where we dive deep into the issues shaping our world. Today, we're exploring a topic that's on the minds of many, the possibility of a third world war. With global tensions at an all-time high, understanding the dynamics at play has never been more critical. From the lessons of history to the flashpoints of today, we'll uncover the intricacies of international diplomacy, military strategies, and the ever-present quest for power. But beyond the headlines and the saber-rattling lies a complex web of alliances, economic interests, and the unyielding hope for peace. Join us as we journey through the corridors of power, from the Kremlin to the Pentagon, from the bustling streets of Taipei to the tense borders of Ukraine, to answer a question that could define the fate of our global civilization. Is World War III on the horizon, or can we navigate our way to a future of peace? Stay with us as we delve into this pivotal discussion, and don't forget to hit the subscribe button and ring the bell to stay updated on our latest explorations. Lessons from World Wars I and II. The pages of history are filled with the tales of conflicts that have shaped our world. To understand the looming question of a third world war, it's essential to look back at the factors that led to the first two global conflicts. The First World War, sparked by the assassination of Archduke Franz Ferdinand, was a culmination of nationalistic fervor, imperial ambitions, and tangled alliances. Nations were drawn into the conflict like dominoes, each falling into a war that would reshape borders and societies. Then came the Second World War, a war of ideologies, where the horrors of fascism were met with a global coalition determined to restore peace and order. It was a war that introduced the world to the unthinkable devastation of nuclear weapons, forever changing the landscape of global diplomacy and military strategy. Today, as we stand in the shadow of these historical giants, the parallels and differences in our current geopolitical landscape are stark. The alliances may have shifted and the ideologies transformed, but the fundamental human penchant for conflict remains. Unlike the past, today's tensions simmer in a world interconnected by technology and commerce, where the battlegrounds could extend beyond the physical to the realms of cyber and economic warfare. Yet, amidst these echoes of the past, there lies a beacon of hope. The lessons learned from the world wars about the catastrophic consequences of global conflict continue to inform international relations. Diplomacy, dialogue, and a collective commitment to peace remain our strongest tools against the tide of history repeating itself. As we delve deeper into the dynamics of current global tensions, let us not forget the lessons that history has taught us. For in those lessons lies the key to forging a path not to war, but to a future of peace and cooperation. Navigating today's global tensions.
Navigating today's global tensions. In today's world, the chessboard of international relations is complex and ever-changing. Major powers like the United States, China, and Russia maneuver for geopolitical influence, setting the stage for a global dynamic fraught with tensions. The United States, with its extensive network of alliances and military bases, seeks to maintain its position as a global superpower. Meanwhile, China's rapid economic growth and assertive foreign policy challenge the existing world order, particularly in the South China Sea and in its Belt and Road Initiative. Russia, under the leadership of Vladimir Putin, continues to assert its influence in Eastern Europe, the Middle East, and beyond, often in direct opposition to Western interests. These power plays occur against a backdrop of nuclear proliferation, cyber warfare, and the global struggle for control of natural resources. The stakes are further heightened by pressing global challenges such as climate change, pandemics, and the urgent need for sustainable development. Conflicts and standoffs, from the annexation of Crimea to the tensions in the Taiwan Strait, exemplify the fragility of peace. These flashpoints, along with disputes in regions like Kashmir and the Korean Peninsula, underscore the complexity of modern geopolitics. Each scenario is a potential spark in a tinderbox of historic rivalries and strategic alliances. Yet, amidst these challenges, the global community also sees efforts towards collaboration and peacekeeping. International institutions like the United Nations, although often criticized for their effectiveness, play a vital role in mediating disputes and promoting dialogue. Understanding the current global dynamic requires a nuanced appreciation of these diverse elements. It's a world where economic power is as significant as military might, where cyber attacks can be as damaging as conventional warfare, and where soft power, the ability to influence others through cultural or ideological means, reshapes alliances and enmities. As we explore the question of whether a third world war is inevitable, it's crucial to consider not just the flashpoints and conflicts, but also the avenues for diplomacy, dialogue, and mutual understanding. The path forward is fraught with challenges, but history has shown that it is within the power of nations to choose cooperation over conflict, peace over war. Decoding Russia's global ambitions. Russia's military strategy, a complex blend of traditional might and modern warfare tactics, stands as a pivotal factor in the global balance of power. At the heart of this strategy lies an expansive military budget, signaling the Kremlin's intent to not only defend its territorial sovereignty, but also to assert its influence on the global stage. This financial commitment to defense, or more accurately, to military capability, has profound implications for both regional stability and international peace. Under the leadership of Vladimir Putin, Russia has focused on revitalizing its military forces, emphasizing not just conventional arms, but also strategic investments in cyber warfare, information operations, and advanced missile technology. This multifaceted approach aims to secure Russia's borders, protect its interests in volatile regions such as the Middle East, and challenge the post-Cold War international order dominated by Western powers. The annexation of Crimea in 2014 and the ongoing involvement in the Syrian conflict showcase Russia's readiness to use military force to achieve its geopolitical objectives. These actions, coupled with military exercises near NATO borders, have reignited Cold War-era tensions, prompting discussions about the nature of modern warfare and the rules of international engagement. Yet Russia's military strategy is not merely about projecting power abroad. It also serves as a tool for domestic politics, reinforcing Putin's image as a strong leader capable of restoring Russia to its former glory. This interplay between internal and external objectives is crucial to understanding Russia's military maneuvers and their broader implications. The concentration of power within the Kremlin, and particularly in the hands of Putin, has led to a decision-making process that is both opaque and highly centralized. Decisions such as the one to invade Ukraine in 2022 illustrate the unpredictability and unilateral nature of Russian military strategy, posing challenges for international diplomacy and crisis management. As we delve deeper into the intricacies of global tensions, Russia's military strategy emerges as a key element in the discussion of whether World War III is an inevitable outcome of current international dynamics. The answer to this question requires a careful examination of not just military capabilities, but also the political, economic, and social factors that drive nations towards conflict or cooperation. NATO and EU in the modern world. In the intricate web of global security, the roles of NATO and the European Union stand out as critical pillars in the Western defense architecture. NATO, the North Atlantic Treaty Organization, has been the cornerstone of collective defense since the Cold War, acting as a deterrent against potential aggressors and as a framework for military cooperation among its member states. The EU, while primarily a political and economic union, has increasingly sought to coordinate the defense and security policies of its member countries, striving for a unified stance on international issues. NATO's expansion eastward since the fall of the Soviet Union has been a point of contention, particularly with Russia, which views this enlargement as a direct threat to its security and sphere of influence. This tension has manifested in various flashpoints across Eastern Europe, most notably in Ukraine, where the struggle between Western integration and Russian influence has led to ongoing conflict. NATO's commitment to the defense of its members is underscored by Article 5, the Collective Defense Clause, which states that an attack on one is an attack on all. This principle has only been invoked once, in the aftermath of the September 11th attacks, highlighting its significance in the alliance's commitment to mutual defense. On the other hand, the European Union has taken strides toward developing a common defense policy, exemplified by initiatives such as the Permanent Structured Cooperation, PESCO, and the European Defense Fund. These efforts aim to enhance the EU's strategic autonomy, reducing dependence on NATO and the United States for security. However, the EU's approach to defense is more nuanced, emphasizing crisis management, peacekeeping operations, and the use of soft power to address global conflicts. The relationship between NATO and the EU is complex, characterized by both cooperation and the pursuit of individual agendas. While they share many member states and common interests, the EU's push for strategic autonomy and NATO's primary role as a military alliance sometimes lead to differing approaches to security and defense. In the context of whether World War III is inevitable, understanding the role of these organizations is crucial. NATO's military capabilities and the EU's diplomatic and economic tools are vital components of the West's strategy to prevent global conflict. Their ability to adapt to new challenges, from cyber threats to terrorism and hybrid warfare, will significantly influence the international order and the pursuit of peace in an increasingly uncertain world. As global dynamics evolve, the roles of NATO and the EU will continue to be pivotal in shaping the future of international relations. Their efforts to promote stability, foster dialogue, and build defense capabilities are essential in navigating the fine line between deterrence and provocation, between peace and conflict, in the 21st century. Cyber attacks and economic sanctions. In the shadow of traditional military confrontations, a new battleground has emerged, one that transcends physical borders and manifests in the realms of economies and digital infrastructures. Economic warfare and cybersecurity have become pivotal elements in the strategic arsenals of nations, wielding the power to destabilize governments, cripple industries, and sway the outcomes of geopolitical conflicts without a single shot being fired. Economic sanctions, a primary tool of economic warfare, are employed by countries to pressure governments into changing their policies, often related to human rights, nuclear proliferation, or aggression. These sanctions can range from trade barriers and tariffs to more severe measures like freezing assets and cutting off access to the international banking system. The effects ripple through the targeted nation's economy, affecting everything from currency valuation to the livelihoods of ordinary citizens. While sanctions are intended to be a non-military means of coercion, their impact can be profound, contributing to economic distress and political instability. Parallel to the economic front, the cyber realm has emerged as a critical theater of operations. Cybersecurity is no longer just about protecting data and systems from hackers and criminals. It's about safeguarding national security. State-sponsored cyber attacks aim to disrupt critical infrastructure, steal sensitive information, and sow discord within societies. The power grid, water supply systems, and financial networks are among the high-stakes targets, where a successful attack can have catastrophic consequences for civilian life and national defense. The cyber domain also offers a cloak of anonymity, making attribution difficult and complicating the response from targeted nations. This ambiguity creates a murky battleground, where nations engage in cyber operations against each other, often denying involvement while exploiting the vulnerabilities exposed by such attacks. The intersection of economic warfare and cybersecurity represents a strategic shift in how power is projected and conflicts are fought in the 21st century. Nations are increasingly recognizing the importance of economic resilience and cyber defense as essential components of national security. Investments in cybersecurity infrastructure, cyber intelligence, and international cooperation are crucial to counter the threats posed by state-sponsored cyber activities. As we contemplate the possibility of a third world war, it's clear that the nature of conflict has evolved. Economic and cyber warfare offer states the means to assert dominance, influence global affairs, and wage war in the shadows, far from the traditional battlefield. Understanding these dimensions is critical to navigating the complexities of modern geopolitics and ensuring the stability of the international order. The challenge for nations is to manage these tools of power in a way that promotes security and peace, rather than escalating tensions and driving further divisions in an already fragmented world. The power of media in shaping war and peace. In the digital age, the battleground for hearts and minds extends far beyond the physical frontiers of nations, reaching into the virtual realms of information and influence. Public opinion and media play a pivotal role in shaping the narratives surrounding global events, conflicts, and the very notion of peace and war. The power of the media, enhanced by the rapid dissemination of information through social media platforms, has transformed the way in which news is reported, consumed, and interpreted across the globe. At the heart of this transformation is the ability to influence public perception and, by extension, policy decisions. Governments and non-state actors alike harness the power of media to sway public opinion, using strategic communication, propaganda, and disinformation campaigns to promote their agendas. In times of conflict, these tools can be wielded to justify actions, demonize adversaries, and rally domestic and international support. The role of social media has magnified this influence, providing a direct channel for the dissemination of information and misinformation alike. Viral content, whether true or fabricated, shapes public perception at a speed and scale previously unimaginable. This digital landscape offers fertile ground for the spread of fake news and conspiracy theories, which can exacerbate tensions, undermine trust in institutions, and polarize societies. Yet, the media also serves as a platform for diplomacy and dialogue, offering opportunities for peace-building and the resolution of conflicts. Investigative journalism, fact-checking initiatives, and responsible reporting contribute to an informed public, capable of critical thinking and engaged in constructive discourse. In this capacity, the media can act as a counterbalance to propaganda, highlighting the human cost of conflict and the importance of finding peaceful solutions. Understanding the dual nature of public opinion and media influence is crucial in the context of global tensions and the potential for conflict. It reminds us of the responsibility held by journalists, content creators, and consumers alike to seek truth, question narratives, and consider the broader implications of the information we share and consume. As we explore the complexities of a world where the threat of a third world war looms, the role of media and public opinion cannot be overstated. In shaping the narratives of our times, they possess the power to influence the course of history, for better or worse. The challenge lies in harnessing this power for the promotion of peace, understanding, and cooperation among nations, ensuring that the voices calling for resolution and harmony rise above the cacophony of conflict. The flashpoints that could ignite World War III. In the intricate tapestry of global politics, there exist several volatile regions and issues, known as flashpoints, that hold the potential to ignite widespread conflict. These flashpoints are geopolitical tinderboxes, where historical grievances, territorial disputes, and power rivalries converge, threatening to escalate into open warfare with far-reaching consequences. One such flashpoint is the Taiwan Strait, a narrow body of water separating Taiwan and mainland China. The strait is a focal point of tension between China, which views Taiwan as a breakaway province to be reunified with the mainland, and Taiwan, which maintains its sovereignty. The United States, along with its allies, plays a significant role in this delicate balance of power, providing support to Taiwan while navigating the complex relationship with China. Any military action in the Taiwan Strait could draw in regional and global powers, leading to a conflict with unpredictable outcomes. Another critical flashpoint is Ukraine, where the annexation of Crimea by Russia in 2014 and ongoing conflicts in the eastern regions have led to a prolonged standoff between Russia and the West. NATO's support for Ukraine, coupled with economic sanctions against Russia, underscores the deep divisions and the risk of further escalation in Eastern Europe. The South China Sea is also a contentious area, with overlapping territorial claims by China, Vietnam, the Philippines, Malaysia, Brunei, and Taiwan. The strategic waterway, a vital route for international maritime trade, has seen increased militarization and naval confrontations, raising fears of a conflict that could involve multiple countries and disrupt global commerce. In the Middle East, the long-standing Israeli-Palestinian conflict, civil wars in Syria and Yemen, and tensions between Iran and its neighbors continue to pose significant challenges to regional stability and international peace. These conflicts, deeply rooted in historical, religious, and ethnic divisions, have the potential to draw in external powers and exacerbate sectarian tensions across the region. Kashmir remains another perennial flashpoint between nuclear-armed neighbors, India and Pakistan. The disputed territory has been the site of multiple wars and skirmishes since the partition of British India in 1947. Any escalation in Kashmir risks not only a bilateral conflict, but also the involvement of China, which has its own territorial claims in the region. These flashpoints, among others, represent the complex interplay of national interests, historical animosities, and strategic calculations. The international community's ability to manage these flashpoints through diplomacy, conflict prevention measures, and multilateral engagement is crucial to averting a descent into chaos and conflict. As we examine the possibility of a Third World War, it is clear that the solution does not lie in military might alone, but in addressing the underlying issues that fuel these flashpoints. Peaceful resolution, dialogue, and cooperation are imperative to ensure that these potential sparks do not ignite a larger conflagration, threatening global security and the future of humanity. The quiet power of diplomacy. In the shadow of potential global conflicts and amidst the volatility of geopolitical flashpoints, diplomacy and peace efforts emerge as beacons of hope. These endeavors, often unfolding away from the public eye, involve intricate negotiations, strategic compromises, and the unwavering pursuit of common ground among nations with diverging interests. The art of diplomacy, practiced by statespersons, diplomats, and international organizations, is fundamental to de-escalating tensions and preventing disputes from spiraling into open conflict. It operates on the principles of dialogue, mutual respect, and the understanding that peaceful solutions are not only preferable, but also more sustainable than military engagements. Through diplomacy, countries engage in bilateral and multilateral talks, seeking to resolve issues related to territorial disputes, trade disagreements, arms control, and more. International organizations play a pivotal role in peace efforts, providing platforms for dialogue and mechanisms for conflict resolution. The United Nations, with its specialist agencies and peacekeeping missions, strives to maintain international peace and security, protect human rights, and promote sustainable development. Similarly, regional organizations like the African Union, the European Union, and the Association of Southeast Asian Nations contribute to regional stability and cooperation, addressing conflicts within their respective spheres through diplomatic means. In addition to official diplomatic channels, non-governmental organizations, NGOs, and civil society groups are crucial in peace-building efforts. These entities work on the ground to address the root causes of conflict, facilitate community dialogue, and support reconciliation processes. Their efforts are particularly vital in post-conflict situations, where they help to heal divided societies and rebuild trust among former adversaries. The pursuit of peace also involves disarmament initiatives, aimed at reducing the number and capability of weapons that could potentially escalate conflicts into catastrophic wars. Treaties and agreements like the Treaty on the Non-Proliferation of Nuclear Weapons, NPT, and the recent Treaty on the Prohibition of Nuclear Weapons, are milestones in the collective effort to eliminate the specter of nuclear war. Yet despite the best efforts of diplomacy and peace initiatives, challenges persist. The complexities of international relations, power dynamics, and the interests of sovereign states can hinder the path to resolution. It is here that the commitment to peace is tested, requiring perseverance, creativity, and sometimes the willingness to make difficult compromises. As we contemplate the question of whether a third world war is inevitable, it becomes clear that diplomacy and peace efforts are not just options, but necessities. The global community must continue to invest in these endeavors, strengthening the institutions and norms that support peaceful coexistence and cooperation. In a world fraught with tensions, the dedication to diplomacy and peace stands as our best hope for forging a future marked not by conflict, but by collaboration and mutual understanding. Steering the world away from war. As we navigate through the complexities of modern geopolitics, historical tensions, and emerging global challenges, the question looms large. Is World War III inevitable? The journey through the intricacies of potential flashpoints, the evolving nature of warfare, and the efforts toward diplomacy and peace offers us a nuanced perspective on this daunting query. In an era marked by rapid technological advancements, economic interdependence, and a heightened awareness of the catastrophic consequences of nuclear conflict, the prospect of a global war seems both anachronistic and exceedingly perilous. Yet, the shadows of rivalry, territorial disputes, and ideological divides remind us of the fragile balance that sustains peace. Amidst this backdrop, the role of media and information channels like GeoLand becomes increasingly significant. GeoLand, a channel dedicated to uncovering and sharing truths often overlooked by mainstream media, emerges as a vital platform for disseminating information and fostering understanding. In an age where narratives can be as influential as actions, providing content that delves beyond surface-level reporting to explore the undercurrents shaping our world is crucial. GeoLand's commitment to anonymity is not just a shield, but a statement, a declaration of the importance of truth over the allure of fame. Each video, article, and discussion facilitated by GeoLand contributes to a larger dialogue, inviting viewers to question, learn, and engage with complex issues beyond the conventional narratives. The channel's growth, fueled by each share and subscription, signifies a collective yearning for deeper insights and unvarnished truths. It's a reminder that in the quest to prevent a third world war, information, understanding, and dialogue are our most potent weapons. In conclusion, while the specter of World War III may hover at the edges of our collective consciousness, the actions we take today toward greater understanding, diplomacy, and shared knowledge can steer us away from the brink. Channels like GeoLand play a pivotal role in this process, offering alternative perspectives that challenge us to think critically about our world. As we move forward, let us do so with the awareness that peace is not merely the absence of war, but the presence of justice, dialogue, and a relentless pursuit of truth. Every share, every discussion, and every effort to broaden our understanding contributes to a world where war becomes not inevitable, but avoidable. Together, through platforms like GeoLand, we can contribute to a more informed and peaceful world.